This year, the title fight in the Premier League is the best one we have ever had. With Klopp wanting to win a last league title as head coach from Liverpool in his last year at the club. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal wanting to win the first league title since Arsene Wenger's invincible season in 2004, and Pep Guardiola's Manchester City wanting to continue their domination in the Premier League, winning the league 5 times in the last 6 years, and even Unai Emery's Aston Villa being a threat from behind, with only 9 points to the top. Everything is possible. All 3 teams are only separated by 1 point, with Arsenal being on top, Liverpool in second, and Manchester City in third. In terms of tactics, it is interesting to see that all 3 have a different tactical approach in terms of the build-up play and playing style in general. But who will have the best chance to win the league this year? Let's look at some statistics. The biggest difference is that Arsenal have scored the most goals and conceded less, but also have the most losses. Liverpool lost the least amount of games this season and is also straight down in the middle in terms of goals conceded and scored, with City being last in comparison, but that does not quite show the whole picture. So let's look at the advanced stats and let's have an insight on the tactical side. We begin with the current leaders, Arsenal. Arsenal always plays a 4-3-3 formation. In the build-up play, Zinchenko plays as an inverted fullback, who helps Declan Rice with controlling the midfield as a secondary holding midfielder. Exactly like City played under Guardiola for most of the time. Here we see that Arteta used to work under the guidance of Guardiola at Man City a few years prior. Ben White and Magalhaes are the wide centre-backs in the back 3. With Rice and Zinchenko staying in defense, the 2 offensive midfielders Havertz and Odegaard can rush forward into the half spaces, and they either try to receive through balls or help creating space, and with Gabriel Jesus playing as a false 9, who drops into the midfield and frees up space in the center for the 2 inverted wingers Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard, who pushes in the center. Their current top scorer is Bukayo Saka, who scored 13 goals and provided 10 assists. Just behind is Havertz with 8 goals and 3 assists, and Odegaard with 6 goals and 7 assists. Arsenal stands out as the team with the least shots conceded and least taken with 15.7. They also only scored 2.2 times per game on average, which is the lowest compared to City and Liverpool. But they also have the most clinical finishing, and they often set for quality instead of quantity in terms of attacks. Arteta has an offensive, possession-based and non-aggressive play style without much risk. They often go for long shots if there is an opportunity, and much of the ball circulation happens on the right side of the pitch where White and Saka plays. In terms of aggression, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool is on top of the sheets. On average, they have the most shots with 22.3 and the most goals per game with 2.7 in all competitions. Like Arsenal, they also play a traditional 4-3-3. But instead of an inverting fullback, they opt for overlapping fullbacks, with Trent Alexander-Arnold as the left back and Andrew Robertson as the right back. In the offense, Szoboszlai as well as Mac Allister push forward into the penalty area, and with the inverting wingers Mohamed Salah and Diogo Jota, the striker Darwin Núñez, and the 2 offensive midfielders inside the penalty box. They have enough people to receive the crosses from Trent or Robertson. Their current top scorer is Mohamed Salah, who scored 15 times and provided 9 assists. Just behind is Darwin Núñez with 10 goals and 8 assists. Although they create the most chances, they also concede the most, but with Becker, who has 7 clean sheets and only conceded 19 goals in 21 games, they have the perfect goalkeeper in the net. But also with the center-backs Konate and Van Dijk and the holding 6 Wataru Endo, who came from Stuttgart for just 20 million, they have the perfect defensive backup. Liverpool plays the typical Klopp style of football with a lot of possession, a high-pressing line, counter-pressing the opponent, and having a quick transitional play. But how does Pep Guardiola's City compare to these 2? Man City is in terms of stats straight in the middle. On average, they take the second most shots with 18 and score the second most goals with 2.5 in all competitions. But in terms of possession, they have the most with 67%. Pep Guardiola introduced a new build-up tactic. When he plays his traditional 4-3-3, he does not use an inverted fullback for support in the center, but instead, he pushes a center-back into the midfield, mostly Akanji. While Akanji pushes forward to support Rodri for controlling the midfield, the back 3 then consists of Walker and Gvardiol as the wide center-backs and Ruben Dias in the central position. But he also often switches to a 3-4-2-1, where he places a center-back directly into the midfield and with the 3-2 build-up at the back. The two wingers, Doku and Foden on the side, and the two offensive midfielders, Alvarez and Silva up front. They create the passing triangles, which Pep Guardiola is mostly known for. Haaland mostly stays up front and waits for through balls, where he can use his enormous speed. The two wingers mostly stay wide to create width, but with Alvarez, Haaland and Silva up front, they have one of the best attacking trios in the world right now, which is also shown in the statistics. Haaland, Foden and Alvarez have 59 goal contributions together, with Haaland being their top goal scorer with 18 goals. And let's not forget about De Bruyne, who recovered from an injury, but still assisted 11 times in 2024. Man City plays a non-aggressive, possession and controlling-minded play style, with lots of rotation in the game. This means that every player must fill out every position on the field if necessary. So we have the attacking monster Liverpool, with the overlapping full-backs and inverting wingers. We have the controlling and attacking-minded Arsenal with an inverting full-back and inverting wingers, and we have Man City with a forward-pushing center-back, wide wingers and clinical finishing up front with Haaland as the best striker in the world right now. But who will come out on top? Obviously, nobody can look into the future, but with all three teams also having to play internationally, it is a lot to play for. In my opinion, because Liverpool only plays in the Europa League and not in the Champions League, like Arsenal and City, they have the best chances to win the league. They also have the easiest remaining games, because they only have to play against teams from the top 6 twice, with Tottenham and Aston Villa, while City and Arsenal still have to play against the top 3 times, with the match Arsenal against City happening in 2 weeks. But what do you think? Who has the best chances to win the Premier League this year? And will one of the teams win the Domestique treble this season? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.